Craig Goslin, welcome to Spill the Beans, first of all.
Thank you, Phil.
Before we get to the Memorial Cup, I'm really curious to talk about you, because we've been working together for about 4.5 years or so, and in very a business-like capacity, but I don't think I've ever sat down and got the backstory behind Craig Goslin, the man. So where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Well, it's one of those things I don't like to talk about myself. I think it's not like you that way. I know.
I'm going to force you to talk about it.
So it's a bit uncomfortable, actually. We have so many great people in this community. I like to focus on them. But I grew up in Bay City. A Catholic boy from Bay City, went to Bay City All Saints. And my sport was basketball. I played basketball. I became a decent basketball player there. Yeah, I did. And interesting enough, I ended up through different avenues, ending up in the business of the world of sales and marketing, and ended up working for a tool manufacturer for 21 years, and was a regional director of sales for them for quite some time. And then along came Dick Garber, and Dick and I, who became really good friends through the game of golf. I heard he was bringing in the major junior team into Saginaw. Mm-hmm. I had some familiarity with the OHL. I talked to Dick, and I said, "Hey, listen, if there's an opportunity sometime, maybe we could partner together." And then lo and behold, that happened. I became the president managing partner of the hockey club. So that's a bit of a background.
Wow. Yeah. Were you interested in hockey? Were you interested in kind of the potential? I mean, like bringing something brand new to Saginaw? What attracted you to helping out?
Well, Dick Garber, number one. Dick is nobody that I've ever met in my life has ever done more for a community than what Dick Garber has done, and he just continues to do it. And I knew that before I got involved with him as a business partner. Yeah. The guy is just he's the real deal, right? And,
something I love about Dick is you see the evidence of his work, but you don't see Dick like running around the city like pounding his own drum and like showing his face at like making sure that everybody knows that I did this. Like you just see his contributions over and over and over.
And Phil, it's part of the Garber culture and our values and our mission statements that at the end of the day, it's all about our community. It's all about people, making our community better, a better place to live, work, and play. Yeah. And that's part of our mission statement. And that's going back to Bay City, the roots of who I am. Bay City All Saints was a big part of that. And the people I hung out with. And I can go back even to people like Dave Schultz, who was a really good friend of mine, who was the president of National City Bank here, which it became, I know it's changed names multiple times, but people like that, Randy Morris, people that Dean Lockwood, these are all names that people in Bay City know I became good friends with Jeff Shapansky. These are good people. Mark Wiglikowski. Just picking off the little things that they were really good at, and that's one of the things that God blessed me with was the ability to look at the strengths of somebody's mantra. And include it into mine, and also recognize the weaknesses and don't include those into mine. Bay City All Saints was a big part of my upbringing, and I'm always grateful to the people in Bay City, and that's my hometown.
Yeah, so you're kind of attracted to people demonstrating character, and Dick is definitely one of those people, and so it's hard not to want to align yourself with somebody like that.
100%. I mean, and when he gets involved in a project, he dives in and he supports. And that's what, when you look at the Saginaw Spirit, from the time we started in 2002, we had a building that was in disarray. It was really ready to be tore down, actually. Right. And the story behind the Saginaw Spirit was that Ren Blair and Paul Windler, the former mayor of Saginaw, and Ren was the guy who brought hockey here in the early 70s, they built the Saginaw Civic Center together through the city. Oh, wow. Yeah, and some 20-some years later, they're going to tear it down because hockey hadn't worked here, right? So Ren and Paul went on a mission to see if they could get a league to improve Saginaw, and they did with the OHL. And then I had to find an owner, and that owner was Dick Garber. And the rest is history. And then the city deeded the Saginaw Civic Center over to the county, which was another big piece of business that happened, and then the county taxpayers have subsidized the Dow Event Center here for the last 22 years. Wow. It's been an incredible success story.
Yeah, incredible success story, not just on the hockey level, but the fact that hockey saved that facility that just is so critical to the downtown area of Saginaw.
You know what, Phil? If it wasn't for the Saginaw County taxpayers, and I can tell you this, being involved every day in the workings of sports in our region, The Saginaw County taxpayers said yes to the millage back in 2002 for what is now the Dow Event Center. At the time, it was the Saginaw Civic Center.
Yeah.
That yes turned into Dick Garber buying the Saginaw Spirit and bringing it here. That yes turned into us working with Dow for the naming rights, which turned into Bill Stavropoulos and Andrew Livers coming to our game when they named the naming rights. The first time they'd been there. It was our third year, by the way, and they had no idea. We had a sold-out crowd. The signs, all the sponsorships are sold. And I remember standing next to Bill Stavropoulos, and he asking Dick Garber, he said, Dick, do you think, I had no idea. He said, think we could do this in Midland? And Dick looked at him like he had two heads. He said, Bill, we need Midland. Midland is 30% of our revenue, right? So no, the community's not big enough for two OHL teams. What Dick didn't know is that Bill was thinking baseball. And so 6 months later, Mike Hayes, who was vice president working underneath Bill and Andrew, asked to see me and Dick. He came over to our office and we sat down with him and he said, fellas, this is a really cool story, by the way. He said, fellas, we're going to form a foundation. It's going to be called the Michigan Baseball Foundation. We are going to buy a team out of Battle Creek and bring it here. And we don't want this to adversely affect what you guys are doing here with the Saginaw Spirit. So what we do, we have your naming rights, and we want you folks to be able to understand that we're partners with you. And whatever you lose in tickets or sponsorships, let's just realize that we're partners with you, and we'll do all we can to become great partners in the future and make that up through naming rights.
Oh wow!
Dick Garber looks at him and says, "No, we're not going to take it. No ledger. This is why I bought the team. I bought the team for our community, and what you guys are doing here with the Great Lakes Loons, which became the Great Lakes Loons." He said at the time with the baseball, he said this is wonderful. So let's just agree that you'll support us and we'll support you.
Oh yeah.
Everything else will work out. And guess what? It has.
What a great story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a story. That's one of those Dick Garberisms that very few people know that created this great. The Loons may have happened naturally. I know Bill was looking into that, but I think when he saw what happened in Saginaw with the Spirit, in fact, I know that I've asked Bill about it. Yeah. And he said, oh, yeah, that was a big impact on whether or not we should really move forward.
Oh, I love that story so much. It says so much about when a part of a community or a community does something right, and not only do it right, but for the right reasons and with the right intention, just how that raises all the ships. Yeah. Like if you're contributing at a high level and you're passionate about it and you're a good human, that's going to encourage other people along the way. And so you see this cool symbiotic relationship between the Spirit and the Loons, kind of saying, hey, we want to bring this level of sport to our region. And lo and behold, here we are.
One of the biggest fans of the Loons are the Saginaw Spirit, and vice versa. The Loons, the Loons are huge sponsors and fans of the Saginaw Spirit. Awesome. It's a great partnership, and it's unusual. It's very unusual in sports,
right?
Because you're competing for the same dollar in a smaller market, and we're thrilled when somebody buys season tickets for the Loons. It's great. Yeah. It's great for our community, and we want them to be successful. And it's all
especially in a smaller market. You could make the case for cooperation really easily in a huge market. Like, well, we're surrounded by 4 million people. There's enough to go around.
Right, exactly.
But in a relatively small region, it can be really fenced off, divisive, burn all the bridges. Every man for himself. But that's not the case here.
Well, Phil, and regionalism is a big deal. All right, and when Dick bought this team, he one of the comments he made to the OHL Board of Governors, because hockey had never succeeded here other than in the Gears in the 70s. Every other hockey program came here didn't succeed because they didn't get the support. And they were bad leagues. Those were the two things, and not great onyrships, right? And now we had a great owner, we had a great league, and a facility renovation. But what we needed, Dick let them know that we're going to market not just to Saginaw, but to the 400,000 people that live in the Great Lakes Bay region, right? And so that's what we've done. So today, Phil, almost 30% of our revenue for the Saginaw Spirit comes out of Midland County.
Oh, wow.
Almost 18% comes out of Bay County. So, and then there's another 4 or 5% that come out from outside from Isabella, and if you go north, you go out into the Thumb. So over half of our revenue comes outside of Saginaw County.
Awesome.
That's huge. Okay, so when you're looking at a business model, right, for all of us in the region, regionalism is where it's at, right? Using the resources of the 400,000 versus the individual cities and counties and communities is a huge ability for us to expand and to become bigger as a region.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned having great ownership, a great league, great segue to The Memorial Cup, OHL Memorial Cup happening. What did it take to bring the Stanley Cup of the league here?
Well, this is huge. I mean, I think our community is finally connecting the dot here now, how big this is. It's the first time this has ever been hosted. It's been around since 1919. This is Canada's national championship, right? Yeah. Outside, of course, the Stanley Cup, which they haven't won in Canada in a long time. Yeah. This is the biggest deal in Canada. The fact the final game of the Memorial Cup is a huge, huge draw for everybody throughout Canada. And to be able to get this, Phil, there was 4 parts of the bid. All right, there was the hockey operations, the business operations, the local atmosphere, and the logistics. And we were bidding against 3 other iconic hockey communities, and being that of Kingston, Ontario. It's a beautiful community on a lake in Kingston. It's on Lake Ontario. Niagara, who has got the beautiful downtown area, all the hotels, beautiful new arena. Mm-hmm. Both these communities. Sault Ste. Marie, beautiful newer arena, great downtown area, and iconic OHL hockey history, right? In all 3 of those communities. So, and when we started the bid, we were kind of like, everybody saying, "Oh, Saginaw's bid. Look, they're going to end up 4th, right?"
Yeah.
And
why are they doing that?
But I certainly believed. I believed in this community. I knew with this community, you mentioned earlier, the roots of this community and how strong the roots of this community are, and and I believed in our county commissioners. I knew that if this came to them, they've proven in the past that they're going to support things that are worthwhile, and. So we took the bid to the county commissioners, and we told them what we had to have. We had to have the building renovated. We had to have new suites, new dressing rooms, visiting dressing rooms, new ice plant, new lights, the ribbon, all the stuff you're seeing on the exterior of the facility. All this stuff had to be done in order for us to host the Memorial Cup. Mm-hmm. They looked it over. They spent a couple of days on it, actually more than that, but they really did a deep dive into what the economic impact would be for the region. And they came back and said, go bid on it. And I think the fact that it hadn't been won since 1919, I think they thought, well, he's not going to win this anyways.
Yeah. Go get it out of your system, Craig.
But I'm so grateful to the county commissioners, Chairman Chris Boyd, the entire group. Jack Tanning was really important. Richard Spitzer. They all were so supportive of saying, you know what, how's this going? We're behind you. The encouragement they gave me, I'm telling you, they were terrific. So it wasn't for that, yes, we don't have the World Cup, right? And the economic impact is going to be well over $30 million for our region. Throughout Frankenmuth, throughout Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, the entire region is going to feel a real positive impact from them. And they already have. They already have felt that impact.
I love that you brought up just how competitive it is, because if you're not in the hockey world, if you don't know the OHL, you might have the impression that it just kind of rotates between OHL teams and like, oh, it's Saginaw's year, but it's competitive. They want to make sure that this is going to be a fantastic experience for everybody because of how big of a deal it is. And I remember when we won the bid for the Memorial Cup, seeing comments from folks from those other competing communities on the post, like, "Oh, this is bogus. It should have been Blake." They were sour because it's such a big deal. But I think it says so much for our community that true to Saginaw's history, getting looked at like the underdog, like, oh, why is Saginaw on that list? But here we are hosting in just a couple months.
And you know what's great about that, though, Phil? They were sour at the beginning, some of the fans, the ownership groups, the entire league. Everybody was 100% behind us. So awesome. those three bidding communities, after we won the bid, were nothing but supportive. And that's cool. What great thing about our league. We one of the reasons our league is the best development league in the world is because we have great people. And we have terrific ownership groups in our league, and I got to tell you, I'm so I guess I'm grateful to the support that we've gotten from those ownership groups of the teams I've been.
I love that you point that out too, because just as quickly I saw other comments from folks from Canada saying, "Happy for Saginaw, this is going to be so great for them. Looking forward to visiting." All of that stuff in true Canadian form. The hospitality was there, which was super super cool. So kind of give me the 101 of the Memorial Cup for folks that aren't familiar with it. How does it? What are the dates? How does it work? Kind of walk me through that.
So first, I want to start with really the roots of the Memorial Cup. Okay. It started in 1919. It was named in Canada after in memorial of those that had made the ultimate sacrifice in the military in Canada. So we're going to be carrying that theme throughout this Memorial Cup, not just with the Canadian military, but also with the U.S. military.
Very cool.
The Arrival of the Cup ceremony is going to be special. That's May 23rd at 4 p.m.
Talk to me about this, because I was listening to you talk about it at the Saginaw Future annual meeting, and it was just like, and then there's going to be jets and a tank and Boy Scouts and the orchestra. So give me a little play-by-play of this.
And I did have this vision, right? Yeah. And I thought, well, you know what? If half of it comes to fruition, this would be great. Well, Jamie Furbush and her group put together, and Kayla Pionk, who's our event coordinator for the Memorial Cup, they brought it together, and they're doing the whole. In fact, they've expanded on it. So,
really?
Incredible. So what we're doing, the Arrival of the Cup ceremony is very similar to the Arrival of the Olympic Torch. It's a community celebration. We're inviting the entire community. We want everybody there. If it's at Jolt Credit Event Park across from the Dow Event Center, and if we have 10,000 people down there, let's jam them in there, right? Awesome. Because that's what this is. This is a celebration, and it's free. But what we're going to do is there's been so much cooperation that's off the charts from the state police, city police, sheriff department, the township police, from all the fire departments, the military, and the high schools, the colleges. So what we're doing, we're going to start on I-75, which on M81, and we're going to have a convoy parade of military vehicles, including a Hummer and a M113 tank, which I didn't know what that was, but it's a massive tank.
I just see all the community Facebook groups, like the Neighborhood Watch is just like losing their brains.
What is this?
Can anybody tell me why there's a tank on 75? And they're freaking out.
Well, we're gonna have 4 of our military heroes, 2 Canadians, 2 Americans, awesome, in that tank. And they're going to have the Memorial Cup in front of them as they're standing up in what do you call the big hole in the tank? I should know that. But
has the Memorial Cup ever been guarded by a tank before?
I would guess no.
That's right, Saginaw. That's how we do it.
So in the military, out of Grayling and others, and John Heiner, who's a part of this big deal over at the Frankenmuth Heroes Museum, they've been incredible with helping us with all this. And we are going to have those military vehicles going down I-75 with the police escort and the fire department down there. And WNEM, by the way, is going to be having this recorded live for us.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to take that and put it on the wide screens that are going to be in Jolt Credit Event Park. We're putting 2 to maybe 3 huge screens in there. So when we're in the park, we can see this parade coming down 75.
Awesome. Yeah. So folks, if you've seen the posts in the past, either on Riverfront Saginaw, the city of Saginaw, that's why there's screens in there, because you can't have a procession of 10,000 people walking down I-75, so it's going to be projected on screen.
Exactly. So we'll have it in there, and then when that parade reaches Riverfront Saginaw, they're going to go into the thanks to the Shaheen family, we're going to use the Commerce Tower parking lot.
Okay.
And in there's going to be multiple high school marching bands, I think 5 or 6 of them, led by the SVSU marching band. We're going to have the Boy Scouts there, and they're going to be carrying the Canadian and the American flag, which is huge. I think they're 30 foot by 90 foot. They're huge flags.
Yeah.
And they're going to be taking those, and then we're going to start this parade, and then the 4 teams are going to be there, by the way, too.
Cool.
The 4 teams will be there with their buses, with their names on their buses. They're going to be wearing their jerseys.
Oh, that'll look great.
Yeah. So then we're going to start a parade down Washington. And then it's going to come over to Franklin, and then into the Jolt Current, into the back end of the Jolt Credit Event Park. The players are going to come in first. They're going to come on their buses. They're going to get into their seats, followed by the Boy Scouts, and then the military. And by the way, the whole time this is going on, the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra and Todd Michael Hall are going to be playing in the Jolt Credit Event Park. So,
that'll be awesome.
You got to be there for this. This is
yeah. Even if you don't like hockey, you got to be there for Todd and the orchestra.
This is going to be so special. So then when we get there, the players come out, and then those 4 military heroes. By the way, the 4 military heroes, we're going to ask you to help us with this, Phil. During the week leading up to the Memorial Cup, we're going to take a day, and we're going to honor that individual person. There's 4 of them.
Okay.
And we're going to tell the community why.
Awesome.
Why is this person being honored? All right.
And
the stories we're hearing is incredible. And last week I just met with a general that's an incredible guy, and he wants to be unnamed right now because he doesn't like any publicity.
Yeah.
All right, but we're trying to talk him into coming. But he's a 4-star general, one of the most iconic and most decorated generals in the Vietnam War.
Oh,
and people like that. All right, and we're going to tell them what they did. And the challenge we have is these folks don't like to say what they did.
Right.
Yeah, but we're saying it's not. We're trying to convince them it's not about them. It's about honoring America through what others in their regiment did. So anyways, that's going to be part of that. They're going to those four iconic officers are going to be bringing the Memorial Cup and setting up on a table and presenting the Memorial Cup to the community of Saginaw. So it's going to be very, very cool.
Are there jets involved?
Oh, I forgot that part. That's right. So then once we get to the end there, we're 90% through a military flyover, so it looks like that's going to happen.
Oh, so, my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just
and then fireworks.
And fireworks, of course. There's fireworks. You can't have something like this without closing off with fireworks. And I love this because like it says so much about how like the parade is awesome, but I think more than just the events of the parade, it shows the passion of Saginaw.
Yeah.
Whether it's for small businesses or for this community or whatever, like Saginaw, when it wants something or when it loves something, it loves it all the way.
Yes.
And so this isn't just like limousines and they pull up to the front of the center and then, okay, cool. And you can maybe catch it on the local news. We want 10,000 people in Jolt Park. We want jets. We want a tank. We want to honor the military. We want our Boy Scouts there. We want our orchestra there. And really ensuring that this is something that the community can enjoy together.
And Phil, you hit the nail on the head there. This is the community, all right? And this is our opportunity. It's on international TV. We're on the international stage here. So it's not just the tens of thousands of people that are coming here to visit here that we're going to make an impact on. It's going to be people that look and say, wow, Saginaw is awesome, all right? And you know what? We should invest there, all right? And that we're hoping to, through this whole thing in the Memorial Cup, attract 2 or 3 new investors here that may come and look and say, hey, let's put some money into that area down there. They got it going on there, and I think that's going to occur. I think that there's a number of people that are coming here that are going to leave here with an impression of Saginaw that maybe be a little different than what they think right now.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love most about this opportunity for Saginaw. Yes, as an event, it's fantastic, but also the lasting benefits. I mean, obviously the improvements that have been done to the Dow Event Center, the improvements going on at Hoyt Park. Those are things that the community will continue to enjoy and benefit the community long into the future, as well as this idea of bringing tens of thousands of folks here to this community saying, this is who we are, this is what we have to offer, maybe getting on the radar of some people looking to have a vacation spot or move or invest and really put this fantastic community on display.
Phil, exactly. I mean, the legacy projects, part of our bid was that you had to show the CHL Site Selection Committee, by the way, who was made up of top professionals that have done this for years, right?
Yes.
So it's not like this is their first rodeo, all right? So they recognized in our bid that this was special. I was told that after the bid that, wow, you guys, your community knocked that thing out of the park.
Awesome.
Right? So now it's a matter of just, are they willing to give it to a U.S. market? And but the legacy projects really kind of put it over the top. And one of them was the mural that you see on the parking ramp at the Dow Event Center. That was when we wanted to do a mural. We also wanted to work with the state of Michigan to do a food truck alley, which Amos O'Neill and others have been great to help support us. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has been very gracious. They gave us $1 million to the city to put in the new food truck alley, which is going to be really special, not just for the Memorial Cup, but for years afterwards, right? And then of course the county commissioners and the county taxpayers who have approved the ability for us to do the renovations of the facility that will be lasting for decades to come. Mm-hmm. And then the last one, which is really really special to all of us, is the Friends of Hoyt Park and Larry Brethauer. Dick Garber has really developed a great relationship with them and has been very supportive of the Friends of Hoyt Park. And one of the things that Dick has decided to do because of the Memorial Cup coming here to give back to this community is to do a complete renovation of that park with a pavilion, new lighting, new bleachers, and help with sprucing up the fields and stuff of that nature, so we can attract top baseball tournaments, both little league and adult, right? And softball, that kind of stuff, so they can stay in our hotels, use our restaurants, shopping our shopping centers, get their gas here in their gas station, all that stuff,
awesome.
Helps. Right. So the Memorial Cup, if it wasn't for the Memorial Cup, that wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
And so all these things are going to leave a major lasting legacy on our region.
I love that, especially Hoyt Park being kind of the the spiritual center of Riverfront Saginaw. Everybody's got memories of Hoyt Park, and that's where you go. It's free there. You don't have to pay admission to get in. Like, you can host a community kickball tournament there if you want. And so to see that kind of improvement, that the Memorial Cup benefits the community, even if you don't go to a game, and you should.
Absolutely.
You definitely should.
Yep.
If you haven't ever been to a Spirit game, now's the chance to grab a ticket and go, because I don't want to say this will never happen again, but it's going to be a long time before it comes back.
Probably not in our lifetime.
Probably not in our lifetime.
No,
and so jump on a ticket and be there with the community. And I love that you said if it's how great it is for the region.
Yeah.
It's of course amazing for Saginaw, but this really is a regional event. Midland benefits, Bay County benefits, Saginaw County benefits. Mount Pleasant benefits, like just the amount of people coming to this area. It's a chance for everybody to get on more people's radar, say, hey, come experience this community. And so I'd encourage every community to figure out how they can leverage this for their own communities as well.
No doubt. And Phil, one of the grateful, I guess, components of everything that we seem to do with the Saginaw Spirit is Dow. And Phil, there's only been 2 sponsors of the Memorial Cup. Presenting sponsor of the Memorial Cup.
Oh, wow.
In its history. MasterCard and Kia. Lucky for us, last year, Kia gave it up for a number of different reasons. They're kind of getting out of sports in Canada and moving into some other areas. And it opened up for us, and we were able to present that to Dow. And Jim Fiddling, was so grateful to Jim, Bob Pliszka, Carlos Padilla, Heather Gallegos. We were able to make a presentation to them. And they molded over, and the 2024 CHL Memorial Cup is presented by Dow. And that is a huge part of helping us to reach our numbers for our budget, because it's, just so you know, this is not Saginaw Spirit's property. It belongs to the league. We have to guarantee the league X amount of dollars out of this thing. So there's nothing in it for the Spirit per se, other than helping the community. All right. At the end of the day, we're hoping to break even. All right. And at one time, I thought we'd be about. In fact, I told Dick when we first sat down at the Panda House. I sat down, and that's one of Dick's favorite restaurants, by the way. A little secret about Dick Garber. If you want to get something done with Dick, take him to the Panda House. Okay. And so we go to the Panda House, and he knows something's up, right? And so I present to him that I'd like to bid on the Memorial Cup. And he goes, how much is it going to cost me? And I said, well, it could be about $750,000. And he looked and kind of gulped just a second. He said, is there any way you can kind of hammer that down just a bit? I said, possibly, but I said, I want to manage your expectations here. Yeah. And he, after he had a few bites of his dinner that he loves at Panda House. Yeah, he loves the Panda House. And it's a great place, by the way. And he finally says, go do it, go get it. In fact, when he said that to me, it brings tears to my eyes. When he said that to me, it was now just a matter of time. I knew we were going to get it. Once Dick said yes, and the county commissioners said yes, I already had a yes from the commissioners, by the way. And I said, you know what, we're going to get this thing, and this is going to be really special.
It's so special to point out, I think, how important it is to support people in your community, whether it's through, if you have the financial means to do it, do that. If you can be a vocal cheerleader to people who are out there crushing it, do that. If you can volunteer your time or contribute or teach kids or start a business or anything like that, like when you get a yes from somebody in the community to go and do the thing that you're doing, whether they're cheering you on or giving you support some other way, there is not a feeling like that in the world.
There isn't. And there's so many people, Phil, in our community that do so many things for other people expecting nothing in return. And I think that's one of the most gratifying parts of our region.
Saginaw 101.
Exactly. They expect nothing in return other than supporting you. And it's our United Ways in Saginaw, Bay County, and Midland County. Incredible. I mean, the things that they do, all right, for others. And you just dive into some of the stuff they do. Yeah. And so, yes.
You talked about Bay City kind of giving you those roots early on. Like Midland and the Loons and then Dow's sponsorship of it. It really took all of these, the best of all of these communities to pull this off, and it's wildly on display right now.
You know what? And Phil, at the end of May and through June is going to be an incredibly exciting time in the Great Lakes Bay region. We have the Memorial Cup. We have the Great Lakes Loons season starting, right? Yeah. and we have the Dow Invitational, the Great Lakes Bay, former Great Lakes Bay Invitational, called the Dow Invitational LPGA event in Midland. Amazing amount of international opportunity for our region. And it's time to shine. It's time to bring in other investors in our region to get us to the next level. And I think we're going to do it.
Heck yeah. Time to shine. May 24th, June 2nd, Memorial Cup here in Saginaw. Head to the Saginaw Spirit website to grab tickets,
yes.
right? Any other information, the schedules, all there on the Saginaw Spirit website. We'll of course link that in the caption. Craig, I want to thank you,
for
Phil. what you've given this community. Give our thanks to the rest of the crew. Anybody that you run into that's responsible for this, you can say, hey, Phil says thank you because it is so amazing. It took so many people, and it will take so many people to pull this off.
We've got 500 volunteers.
Oh, my goodness, an army.
Yeah, an army of volunteers. So grateful to all those folks that stepped up. Yeah, this is going to be, and May 23rd, by the way, is an Arrival of the Cup ceremony. Don't miss it.
Yeah, May 23rd,
don't miss it.
Cup.
But it's going to be, this is special. I invite everybody to participate. Even if you don't come to the games, come down to the Fan Fest. And it's going to be UA Local 85 is a sponsor of the Fan Fest, by the way. Cool. Incredible amount of energy they've put into this. And come on down and join us.
Heck yeah. So May 24th, Arrival of the Cup ceremony. Or May 23rd, Arrival of the Cup ceremony. May 24th, game start. And they run through June 2nd. It's going to be amazing. Craig Goslin.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you so much. Cut.